I think most people think of adoption as, oh, you get a nice little baby and you get to start from the beginning. Well, let me tell you something. You guys were half-baked. I didn't have a little baby, but I didn't have to be woken up in the middle of, well, yeah, I had to wake up in the middle of the night to make sure you were staying in the house. You are, in essence, my firstborn. Met when you were 17 years old. Can you talk a little bit about how you felt from the beginning?
I was really excited to get adopted. I had to take a risk, allowing a father figure come into my life and help me.
You were rightfully suspicious about adults because you had been let down by adults. I mean, I still struggle with issues of belonging because I was a foster child.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be a foster child. You're always going to have been a foster child.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what we have gone through, you know I'm always there. So
absolutely.
So you can say what you want. You can call me what you want. We can slam doors, and you know,
you're still there.
Because it's not something that is natural to either one of us. You weren't able to understand that.
There was no way I was going to understand a lot of what we're talking about now. I really wasn't giving you the fair chance to be a parent. I officially had freedom. And I was just like, oh my God, he's letting me do all these things. Let's push the boundaries, because I've never had the opportunity to even push a boundary.
You were playing catch up. And then I was playing catch up to make sure that I gave you, this is in my head, you know, it's sort of a unrealistic expectation, but to give you all the tools and all the experiences that you would have had in 17 years to be comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
All I knew is that your father had been in jail.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there was an interest from you. You know, remember us going there and having to go through the whole, you know, intake process. Things that I might not necessarily have wanted you to see, but, you know, I had to step back.
I was really there to say goodbye. You know, I think I needed that for me to move on with us. I don't know if I would have been able to move forward without doing that, because shortly after him, it was my mom. And as we both know, that is just a whole nother ball game for me.
I'll remind you, she went to court for the adoption.
That messed me up, man.
In front of us, in front of a judge, in front of strangers, to actually relinquish her rights first, and then we could go on with the adoption. If she hadn't done that, we would not have been father and son. That took an incredible amount of courage and bravery and pain to do that.
That was rough. I don't know. I feel like I don't know, like a piece of me died that day. I just feel bad, you know, because I know she tried, and I've seen it, and I don't know, as much as I like to say I hate her, like I love her, you know what I mean? And I went through the pain with her. And I feel like a part of her heart was like taken. People don't know about this, man. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about adoption, and people don't talk about the reality of what it really is. And like, that was really hard. Right. She knew she had to give up in order for me to be happy and go and get the life that I deserve. But that came as such a loss to her. And till this day, I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to cope with it. It's one of those things that like is one of my nightmares forever.
And that's something that we have in common. I never set eyes on my mother. I don't know her. She refuses to meet me. But there's a part of my being that wants my mommy. And I'm 61 years old. The reality of life. So I've had to accept who she is. She's had a rough life. Your mom has had a rough life. They are who they are. What was the most freeing is they stopped fighting for it. So we talked about Jonathan. Your initial response was, no way.
This is all mine. I remember that was my phrase for a couple of weeks. I just don't want to share. And the words specifically that you said were, and I won't forget this, who are we to take an opportunity from somebody else? And that, till this day, it sits in the back of my mind. Then it came sibling time. And that's where me and him really started learning about family. There were arguments, there were little fights here and there. Because of his past, he was always ready to fight. And I was like, dude, this is an argument. Like, I'm not fighting. We're family. We don't do that. And that's what made me and John closer. Now we're up to 7. I consider us Umbrella Academy. Us 7 have an opportunity to change the view of adoption. There's so many kids that don't get the love and the counseling that they need for after it. It's just like they hand them off and then that's it. My goal is to change that in the system because I got the better hand. See, and I'm blessed for that. Like, you made sure we went to counseling after. It's a whole process, man.
It is a process. It's a process for the parent. It's a process for the kid. And you know what? It's a different process for each one of you.
I will always be thankful, although there's been a lot of times where I was very ungrateful. But with those times came to be who I am today. And even though these are dark times in our world outside of this story, it is still a part of our story, and this is just another add-on to our story, and we're going to be able to overcome it as well. Because what haven't we overcome already?
Yeah.
I'm just happy and proud to call you my father. I'm going to be you one day.